Okay, what's good? It's Intellect. Just watched the show on my headphones, on my phone as always. You know what I mean? So the night is dark and it's full of terror. So it's also full of spoilers. So I should say that again. The night is dark and full of spoilers. That's the official model. All right, so we will be getting into spoilers right now for episode 3, which is episode 70 of the of all of all the Game of Thrones. Because when you get it, they don't show you on HBO Go, but it's episode 3 of season 8, and that was emotional. That was crazy. So many, so many fanfare characters gone. Guy for the Night's Watch, gone. Sir Jorah Mormont and Lady Mormont, gone. Lady Mormont may have had the greatest death scene in Game of Thrones history. Her body was getting crushed by a dead giant, and it was about to eat her, and she stabbed it in the eye, reminiscent of how one died. Also, a really cool callback moment I like when Sansa was given a weapon by Arya, and she's like, "Get in the crypt." She's like, "What do I do with this?" She's like, "Just stick them with the pointy end." I mean, this wasn't like as I expected. As far as like, it just wasn't one giant battle. It was like pieced together. There was moments, there was breaks. You know what I mean? It was crazy. One thing I was really mad at, Dothraki, which had a cool moment. They had their swords by Melisandre. Melisandre came back. I thought at first it was either Mira or Cold Hands. You know what I mean? What's Benjen Stark, but it was neither of them. It was her. She told them all to lift their swords. She said some shit, and like boom, they all turn to fire. Dope. As far as the swords, they rush with Ghost in the front. Why the fuck is Ghost in the front line? Ghost is in the front line. They all rush. He never comes back. They don't show him died, so I'm hoping he's alive somehow. And so they all the swords lights dim in the distance, and then you see them all running back, which more Jorah, because he was in the front line with them, and that's when the army comes, and like there's just too much, and they played it smart as far as like the White Walkers, because they were like all in the back, lined up, and the army was attacking, because they knew their weakness clearly. So what they did is when Danny and John started just lighting up the armies, and they were gonna go light up all the White Walkers. They were like, "Nope, it's a gang of of winter just comes in and just makes everything super cold, and you can't see anything. Crazy." Then I mean, there was so many dope moments. It's hard to just. I literally just watched it. I have to watch it like so many more times, including like Endgame. I'm watching Endgame again this Tuesday, and what's it called again? So much. All right. So the plan basically failed at first. They were getting decimated. I'm talking about decimated. They eventually had to retreat. You know what I mean? And so many people died. Obviously, like the main characters, not too many of them died, but it was still too much. You know what I mean? And at one point, you know, you eventually get I might be skipping some parts. We eventually get the Dance of Dragons, and like both of the dragons are like they're trying to find the Night King and they can't find him. And at one point, Bran is like, "I'll be right back," because what's his? Damn, I can't remember his name right now. The dude who Theon. There you go, Theon. He's with a bunch of people in the back protecting Bran, and he's like, "Theon, I'll be right back." And they had like a cool moment before, and Bran gets into the Ravens, and he's like swarming around, and he sees the Night King flying in his dragon. And the dragons, they end up fighting, and like at first it was cool because like the dragons are above all the clouds in the sky, like in space almost, which they shouldn't be able to breathe at that point as far as like the humans on them. So kind of nobody era right there. But other than that, what's it called again? You see just blue and just the fire flames through, and they're like attacking, and him and Rhaegar go at it, and like he's scratching Rhaegar's stomach pretty bad, but Rhaegar's like grabbing and ripping him off, and then Drogon comes and just like rips the side of his face and all, but they can't kill the dragon. It looks like they killed the dragon. You see the Night King fall off and like, "Brrr." You know what I mean? But like, and he was the whole time when he was cool, he was trying to hit the javelin, but and the dragon was trying to bite John at the same time, and like it just wasn't working. It was dope. It was everything you wanted in a dragon versus dragon fight. And it seems like after that happened, Rhaegar went down, and I don't think he's dead, but he's extremely injured because he went down and he started like pop, pop, and and Jon flies off him, and you never see him again. And so hopefully he's alive. I doubt if he is, he's extremely injured because he was just getting scratched up by the dead dragon, like in the belly and all that. So it's like, and he never comes back because, for example, Drogon, he at one point, I'll get into it later, but he does the same thing, but he gets really hurt, but he comes back. You know what I mean? And so that one thing that was spoiled on some of the interviews was like the Night King had a similar or like a more intense version of what Hardhome was with him and Jon Snow, and that happens with like Jon. You see him in the trailer. Jon's running towards him, and then like he just looks. Oh yeah, I forgot. Before that happens, Danny sees him and he's just standing there, Night King, and he starts smiling, which was really cool and creepy. And then she's like Dracarys and lights him up, does nothing to him. He goes and throws the javelin, misses the dragon, thankfully. And that's when Jon's rushing towards him. While he's rushing, he starts lifting his hands up, and all the people are dead, are coming back up. So it's like it looks like the living beat the first wave, but the second wave is like clearly going to be too much. And then just it goes to this really like cool way of like music's playing while like things are happening. Even though I skipped through this one part where like Arya, you know what I mean, like Arya, Clegane, and Beric Dondarrion, like, you know, they're having their moments. Like Beric is trying to get Clegane to like snap out of it because he's clearly scared. At some point, he's like, "Dude, we're already dead." And then like he's like, well, "Tell her that." And then like you see Arya in the back, and he's like, he snaps out of it and goes to save her, which was really cool. I like how they did that because it was like, you know, like that's how much he cares for her. So so that happens, and at the end, she does this little stuffy thing in the library and almost gets caught, doesn't, then leaves and gets caught, and then like they're running, and then like eventually Clegane and Beric get to her, and Beric basically sacrifices himself, gets stabbed like way too many times, and he ends up dying eventually. And while he dies, and he tries to say something, but he can't say it. He's just smiling at Arya, and then he dies. And then Melisandre's in there. He's like, you know, the Lord of Light brought him back for a reason, brought him back for his purpose, and that for a purpose, and now that purpose is over. It's like it was to save Arya, and why? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. So yeah. So from there, you know, they go to the fact that like the Night King brought everyone back, and everyone was dead. It's really cool to see where like Jon is trying to get to the. Before that, while that happens, like I said, you don't see Rhaegar again, but Daenerys comes back with Drogon, and all of a sudden she's like looks back and she's like, "Go get Bran!" And when she looks back, all the dead are jumping and stabbing the shit out of Drogon, and like he has to throw her off, and like he has to fly. He's like flying with like literally like almost 100 deads on him, just stabbing him up, and it looks like he's gonna die. And he just flies off, and then from there, like, you know, she falls off and like looks like she's about to die, and then Jorah Mormont comes in, saves her, and she picks up a knife or a sword, and they end up fighting the Whites, and Jon is trying to get to the Night King, who's slowly making his way to Bran, and like all the people around Bran are just lighting them up with arrows, as far as like the regular Whites, not the White Walkers or Night King, just regular Whites, and from there, you know, it's like they play music to like set the mood, and it looks like it's like all hope is lost. All the people are getting murked or just surrounded, or, you know, just like overwhelmed by the odds and the numbers. And Jon's trying to get from point A to point B, but the dead dragon just falls out the sky, and like half of his face is missing, and he's just going crazy, throwing dragon fire, and it's like it seems like it's hopeless. Like they can't do nothing. And from there, they what they do is Theon, like Theon and what's his name, Bran, have a moment when the Night King eventually gets to Bran, and then he charges him. Night King kills him. It sucked. And from there, you know, like they're all it looks like all hope is lost. And from there, sorry, I'm getting I'm on my phone. So from there, what happens is they're all chilling, and like he like as far as like Night King and Bran are like standing next to each other, and he's looking at the eye. He's literally about to pick up the sword to kill Bran, and then all of a sudden you hear a shh, and Arya just jumps out of nowhere, bah, gets grabbed in the neck by the Night King, and at this moment it comes back to Jon where he's just like behind a rock, and the dragon's like right there. He just like turns around. He's like, I'm gonna go at it, and they cut back, and Arya goes for to stab him with the, what's it called again? The Valyrian dagger, and he stops her, and she drops it, gets it with the other hand, pow, dead in the heart. Night King is dead. Everyone is dead. That was Beric Dondarrion's purpose, to save Arya, because she is the one who took down the Night King with the dagger that was meant to kill Bran. Thanks to Littlefinger. So, and that episode ends insane. So many feels. I'll make more videos later, but so many feels. Tell me what y'all think, because the night is dark and full of spoilers, motherfucker. Intellect out this mug. Hope y'all have a good one. Enjoy it. Peace.